Okay, we first started using cameras in around late 2008, early 2009 in various different forms of sort of trial cameras, different head cams, and just sort of trialling different things. And then around about 2010, 2011, we ended up with some Home Office funding, and then that was when we sort of bought into yourselves with Karma and the original RS2 cameras. And from then on, we moved on in 2013 to then be rolling out more cameras, the RS3s and the Op Hyperion, where we went personal issue on the Isle of Wight for a year with the Portsmouth study. Roughly, we have in force around 2,700, although we're not at full deployment as yet. So out in being deployed, we're around about 250 pool cameras still, and we are around 1,200 personally issued cameras. To officers on the street, they like the cameras because it helps them with regards to complaints and reduction of complaints against themselves. So the kind of legitimacy of what they're saying, so it's like their independent witness, especially where officers are getting, sent to incidents single crewed, so it's kind of backing up what they are saying. And it's also very good for them from a personal safety point of view, because if anything does happen, then that camera captures what's going on. And when we've done engagement with them, most are very supportive of cameras, again, because it adds to that legitimacy of what police are doing, and you're kind of accountable for your actions and what's happening. And obviously the cameras, if they're switched on, it captures what's happened, at an incident. So from their point of view, for complaint resolutions and things like that, it should hopefully capture what is said on the cameras. Yeah, domestic violence is a good one, and certainly for victimless prosecutions as well. We've had some good victimless prosecutions where, people don't want to give us a full statement, but they've actually disclosed on body-worn video what has happened. The Crown Prosecution Service have said to charge an offender, which we have done, and then they've, used the body-worn video footage for part of that prosecution. Even though it wasn't supported by the victim. Having a screen on a camera is good because it allows us to review footage where needed, so if officers need to look back at things, so they can use the screen. And as I alluded to earlier, it's good for suspects or subjects that you are dealing with, to know that they're being recorded, so it can bring their level right down. So if they're sort of quite confrontational, if they know they're being recorded, it can sometimes calm them down and or make them disappear and go away when they're wanted. We've found sometimes they do get knocked. Officers sometimes end up filming the floor or looking in a different direction. So again, we try to educate officers and within the training to say, make sure you are filming in the right direction. When make sure your head of the camera is facing in the right direction. So it can be useful for tall officers, smaller officers, so they can angle it up depending on who they're dealing with. Yeah, big red slider, the officers do like that. It's nice and easy. They can literally they know it's there and slide it down. Double beep, they know it's recording, and yeah, it's useful. It's much more easier than some other cameras that are tap this button here or press that. So yeah. We have it at the moment on client machines as a hybrid solution, so we're using networked area storage at stations with client machines, and DEMS is on those clients. However, moving forward, we're going to a cloud-based storage solution with Azure, and we will be utilising web DEMS and the auto-upload feature on our Windows 8.1 machines at locations where officers need them. So at a response hub where we may have 150 officers, for example, majority of those computers hopefully will be enabled to have the auto-upload feature on them, dock the camera, and the footage will go off and be stored in the cloud, and then be able to use web DEMS then across the force for whoever needs to view that piece of footage, edit it, clip it, burn it, do what they need to do with it. Me personally, I think it's a very good piece of kit for officers if it is used correctly. And also, it's a camera, it obtains a product, a piece of footage or a piece of evidence, whether that be to quash a complaint or whether that be evidence for court. I think officer education is very key to getting a good product at the end, so you need to make sure that officers are trained well in the use not just of the camera but the back-end software to make sure that the procedures are followed to crop it and clip the footage to just the little bit that you need rather than an hour's worth of footage, so you get a better end product.